Today, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, waded in, taking aim at the plan. But how is it actually going to work, and what do the Rwandan authorities think about it? To discuss that, I'm delighted to be joined by the government spokesperson for Rwanda, Yolande Mokolo. And there she is. Yolande, thank you so much for joining us this Sunday afternoon. First of all, let's assume that these people, and it may be within a matter of weeks, months, arrive in your country to be processed. Who will represent them? Who will speak for them if they're not capable of making their own defence?
Thanks for having me on. When the migrants arrive in Rwanda, we will take responsibility for them. Rwanda is a signatory to the Refugee Convention, and we have an asylum process of our own. And we do have our own immigration and migrant policy. So we will take responsibility for them. They will have access to legal services, and they will go through the process fairly. And if they're determined to be refugees, they will be offered not only safety, but the opportunity to live here with us and thrive.
What are that a brilliant answer, and thank you so much for that clarity. What are the criteria that your examiners will apply to determine whether or not they are genuine refugees fleeing a conflict zone in fear of their life, as opposed to simply somebody who perhaps wants a chance at a better economic life, what we call here economic migrants?
So our asylum process is in line with the Refugee Convention, and it's similar to the process in many other countries. So that's what we will use to determine whether they gain asylum or not. But it doesn't matter. For us, it doesn't matter whether they're asylum seekers or simply migrants looking for an opportunity, because we believe that in a fair world, people should be able to live with dignity and have access to opportunities wherever they are. So whether they're determined to be refugees or just economic migrants, they're welcome to stay with us if they want to.
Fascinating. I wasn't aware of that. If they fail, Yolande, that examination, as it were, and they don't meet either of those criteria to stay with you, either as economic migrants or as bona fide refugees, where will they go?
Well, it's not an examination as such. We are offering opportunity for people to live here with us. This is what the partnership is about. Whether they're refugees or migrants, they also have the option to return to their country of origin, and they will be facilitated to do that. Or they can move on to other receiving countries that are willing to take them. OK. You will be well aware, because as the board behind you explains, you're a spokesperson for the government of Rwanda, and it's been all over the newspapers here, that both the United States State Department and the UK's own Foreign Office have been very critical of Rwanda within the last 12, 18 months of your government's record on human rights, not least lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans rights, and also on law and order. Do you dismiss those criticisms from the US State Department and the Foreign Office, or do you take them on board and say to us now live on television here in the UK, it's a work in progress? I think every country is a work in progress. We have a very good relationship with the US and with the United Kingdom. We do great work together in development and in other areas. Where there are areas of disagreement, we discuss it. Rwanda has progressed tremendously in the last 28 years. This month, we're commemorating 28 years after the genocide of 1994. And this country has made progress on every single aspect, including on rights, on freedoms, on media. We're a safe country, we're stable, we are united, and we're growing economically very rapidly. So some of the reports do not correspond to reality, and both the United Kingdom and the US, who have representatives here in their embassies, are able to see this for themselves. Anyone who comes to Rwanda cannot fail to see with their own eyes the progress that this country has made.
Fascinating answer, because one of the specific issues that was raised in the US State Department criticism was, and I quote, the unjustified arrest or prosecution of journalists and of censorship, serious restrictions on internet freedoms. Because clearly you made those claims, Yolanda, and I hear them loud and clear. Folk will want to come to Rwanda to see what it's like on the ground. You're saying right here, right now, that they will have total access, total freedom to operate as objective journalists as they would if they were here or in the United States of America.
Yes, please come and see for yourself.
I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Really.
Final point. Can you give me an equally clear assertion, because many people here are gravely concerned about gay rights, gay lesbian rights, and it's been an issue in this country since the late 1960s. We've made slow and steady progress, but we now think in terms of gay rights and lesbian rights, we are in a much better place than we were 50 years ago. If I turned up and I were a gay man, or if somebody was applying to be considered an asylum seeker in Rwanda who was perhaps a lesbian, would you guarantee right here, right now on UK television that that would not be held against them?
Rwanda does not discriminate in law, in policy or practice against sexual orientation. We do not criminalize homosexuality. And this is the last country to discriminate against people, because what led to the genocide in 1994 partly was discrimination against a particular group in this country. So we are the last country that will discriminate against anyone.
Final question, and it's a cheeky one, both for you but also for our Home Secretary, with whom you and your ministers have been working so closely. Priti Patel says that she thinks that this model may become a template for other countries. Has the government of Rwanda received any other applications, any other countries getting in touch with you saying we'd like to do business with you on the immigration question?
We've just signed, so let's see how it goes. We are determined to make this work, and we hope that other countries will follow suit, because migration should be looked at differently. People should be offered opportunities to live dignified lives wherever they are in the world, and we hope more countries will join up. Rwanda in 2019 was the first one to host refugees from migrants from Libya, endangered from Libya. We have over 700 of them who've passed through here that we offered sanctuary to, working with the UNHCR. So we hope that this new innovative model will also be emulated by other countries. Then we can do more together.
Yolanda Makola, a genuine pleasure talking to you, and thank you very much for fitting us into what I know is a busy schedule for you this Sunday. Thank